Warning: the following audio may contain disturbing and violent content, which is not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion advised.
Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here.
Hello! Welcome back to Operation Evil. This is Nyoka,
And Rachel.
and we're here to bring you the story of the disturbing creepo named Chris Watts. So we're going to talk about social media first. I don't know about you, Rachel, but don't you notice that everybody's life seems so perfect on social media?
Yes. And, it's always the ones that, oh, I have the best husband, blah, 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 that there's secrets
Yeah,
hidden behind the door.
I'm convinced that the more people post, the more messed up their personal life is. I don't know if
Agree.
that's true, but it just seems that way.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about Chris Watts and Shanann Watts. Shanann was very active in social media.
Loved her kids.
Yes, always posted videos of her family, her kids, her husband, her work. She even ran a business online, I believe.
Some kind of, wasn't there something that she sold?
Yeah, I think the brand was Thrive. I think it was like a health product. But she definitely did a lot of her business from home and online. And while she kind of recorded everything in her life. And Chris Watts was not a fan. He went along with it, but he was always in these videos with her or
Looking
in
very
pictures.
awkward.
Very awkward. So they were living in Colorado at the time, and Shanann was 34 years old. She was very active in her work to the point where she would take trips out of town, business trips, and would network. And their kids, they had 4-year-old Bella, they had 3-year-old Celeste, who they called Cece, and they had another baby on the way, which she actually announced on social media.
And she was so happy. You could just tell how happy she was.
Oh, and did you watch the video of that where she made a shirt that said, what did it say? Oops, we did it again.
Yes.
That's how she told him.
Yes, and he seemed to be happy. Like, he was legitimately, surprised.
Yeah, I would say that too. Yeah. Definitely shocked.
Mm-hmm.
So that baby actually ended up being a boy, and they planned to name him Nico. During this time, their relationship was pretty rocky, and there was a reason for that. Can you guess what the reason is? Because Chris was living a double life. One hand, he was married happily with Shanann. He had 2 kids, one on the way. Where, in another hand, he was having an affair with Nicole Kessinger, which we'll call her Nikki. Tells her he's leaving his wife, he's divorcing, he wants to be with her and build this future and have kids with her.
To the point to where she was looking for a wedding dress.
Absolutely. So social media is portraying, Shanann's portraying that they're perfect and they're happy and they got this cute little family and nothing can be wrong. But on the inside, behind closed doors, they were in debt by $70,000 or more. Wow. I think they were behind on their HOA fees, which was causing housing issues.
Didn't she have the house built? Like, she worked her butt off?
I think she did.
I think so too.
She did a lot of work, and actually talking about social media, I forgot to
Mm-hmm.
say, they met over social media. Chris sent her a friend's request. They had mutual friends in common, and she thought, why not? I'll just accept it. It's not like I'm going to meet the guy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Little did she know that she would soon marry him and have his babies. Here they are. They're in bankruptcy. They're in debt. They're actually fighting behind closed doors. He's distant. He hates being on her social media. Plenty of problems to brew for an affair on the side.
And I think I remember seeing on possibly the Netflix documentary where he had lost a bunch of weight and he was working out a lot. So
Mm,
maybe there were some issues with self esteem or something going on.
not anymore after that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he seems kind of like a narcissist to begin with, so that probably definitely made his ego.
Feed into it.
Yeah, for sure. May 29th, 2018 is when she announces the third baby on social media. June 27th, her and the girls, they fly to North Carolina to spend 5 or 6 weeks with Shanann's family. During this time, Chris stays behind. And this is kind of to like reset the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
have some space, come back and be stronger. However, during this time, he starts to have an affair with Nicole Kessinger. And
And also before that, evidently Tinder dates as well.
oh, yes. Yeah. He was looking for, I guess, anyone to cling to.
Something. I mean, he had it right in front of his face.
Yeah. Well, Shanann's out of town. She's trying to reach him. She's texting him. She's calling him. He's being very distant. He's not responding every time. She's definitely feeling worked up and upset. I mean, she's pregnant with his baby, and he's not even responding back. He's dating Nikki. He takes her out to dinner at a fancy. Well, I don't know if it was fancy, but they spent like I don't know. The tab was like $60.
Yeah, like I think it was a little bit more of a budget than like him and Shanann would typically spend or
Yes.
something like that.
And before, when he was taking her out, he was careful to have cash or some means to pay without Shanann actually
Finding
catching
out.
on.
Yeah.
But this time, he was very careless, and he used their shared credit card. So of course, she gets a notification that he spent $60, and she's like, "That's not right. How's one person spend $60
Mm-hmm.
for dinner?" That right there gave her suspicion that he was not being faithful. So she comes home, and he's not caring much about the pregnancy, so she cancels their gender reveal party on August 8th, 2018.
And the whole time he's just being really cold and distant, right?
Yes, the whole time. And of course, she's not posting this on social media. She doesn't want people to know what's going on. Now, she does go for a business trip on August 11th, and when she does confide in her friends about what's going on and he's distant and she thinks he's cheating and the $60 tab, and she's very upset. Her friend Nicole, I call the good Nicole. The good
With
Nicole.
good reason.
Yeah. She was a coworker and a best friend of Shanann, and she went on the work trip with her, and she dropped her off that morning on August 13th,
Was it like
2018.
2 a.m. or something?
Yes. And little did she know that would be the last time that they would see her alive. Shanann was 15 weeks pregnant at this time, and she wasn't feeling good when she was dropped off. And the good Nicole, she knew that Shanann had a doctor's appointment and had asked her for a ride to go with her. So she knew that was going on that day. But the next day, she couldn't get a hold of Shanann. She's calling, she's texting. There's no answer. So she knows that she's missing the doctor's appointment. Something doesn't feel right. She's so concerned that she drives over to the Watts house. Again, no answer. She peeks through the windows, doesn't see anything. Everything just seems very quiet. However, she does spot that Shanann's car is in the garage. The car seats are still in there. So she knows that she didn't go anywhere.
And something's wrong.
Something's wrong. She calls Chris and says, "Hey, can you come home? Can you check and see what's going on? I can't get a hold of her." And he says, "Oh, she had a play date. She was taking the girls to." And she was like, "Look, her car is in the garage. Car seats are there. Something's not right. Can you come home?" And when she hangs up from him, she decides, "I'm just going to call the cops." She calls them for a well-being check. The officer arrives and he looks through the windows, all the doors, tries to knock, those safety latches so you can open the door a couple inches, but you can't open it. He even does that and yells in there, "Please, is anyone there?" Nothing.
Yeah, because wasn't her friend concerned about a seizure or something? Or passing out?
Yeah, some kind of, was it medication she was on or
I believe so.
something was going on? Well, she did have lupus. Shanann had lupus. I remember that. So she wasn't in the best of health to begin with.
And with her being pregnant, and the traveling.
Yes. So she was very, very concerned. And she's like, "Look, Chris isn't here. He's not coming home. I've tried calling him." And the police was like, "Let me call him, see if I can get the garage door open." And he calls, and Chris is like, "You can't open the garage from the outside. It has to be from the inside. I'll be there in 5 minutes." He gets to the residence and he goes inside. And in the video,
And no urgency whatsoever.
Yeah, none. Did you watch the body cam video of this?
I did. From the neighbor.
No, from the officer's body cam, like of Chris arriving home and opening the garage.
You know what? I don't think I watched that.
Well, it's odd because he's like searching through the car. It was really weird. Like, what are you searching for?
That is odd. Why would that be your concern?
Yeah, why are you going through her car? I don't know. Anyways, I just thought that was weird. The cop says, "Hey, can I come in and search the house?" And Chris is like, "Yeah, come in, check." Goes around. And what did you say that was left behind in
The
there?
phone. Shanann's phone.
That's right.
Yeah, I believe the friend, Good Nicole, said there's no way she would have left that phone.
Right, it was like her lifeline.
Right.
But
And I mean, as a mom, that's your, if you take your kids out for emergencies, whatever, what have you.
yes.
And then what else was it? Her jewelry,
Yeah, her purse, her wallet,
her purse, yes.
all of these things that she would never
Leave home without.
Yeah, and I remember watching the body cam, and Chris could not unlock the phone, and the good Nicole was like, "Try the baby's due date," and that was the lock. And that's sad that she knew, and he didn't.
And I wonder in hindsight, like, that poor friend, like, what was she thinking?
Oh, you can tell in the video, she did not trust Chris at all. Like, you can tell she's like this hound dog sniffing out that something is not
She
right.
was like reacting to how a husband should have been acting. Like, I want answers right now, and he just had no urgency, no. I remember watching the video, and he's just standing there, like fumbling through his phone.
Yeah.
Or was that her phone? Remember? He was like he was searching for something.
Yeah. Yeah. But on her phone, there was no calls. She made no calls or anything that day. He walks into the bedroom and comes back out, and he said, "Oh, here's her wedding band." So,
like it was a surprise.
Yeah.
Again,
like,
here we go.
There's her wedding band. So they didn't see any foul play in the house, but the cops did notice something odd. In the bedroom, their bed was stripped, which is kind of weird.
And Shanann looked like an amazing housekeeper. Like,
Yes.
the house looked immaculate.
Yes. So why would this bed be stripped? Because you know she just got home late at night and
Mm-hmm.
went to bed. It's all very odd.
Mm-hmm.
So they go back outside, and the cop goes around to the neighbors and talks to them like, "Did you see anything?" One of the neighbors had surveillance camera that pointed in their driveway, and you can see a little bit of the Watts driveway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw this footage, but
I
you can
did.
kind of see where he backs his truck up, which is not a norm for him. The
Yeah.
neighbor said that this is not
Yeah, I
normally how
think
he
there was
parks.
another, like a third person that said that that was out of character for him to back the truck up into the driveway like that.
Yes.
What was it? He would park usually on the street?
Yes. And he would grab his tools and load it from the
Mm-hmm.
street. But he's saying he's grabbing his tools and loading it this way, which is just odd. And did you see in the video, you can see him loading a gas can too.
Yeah, it's kind of it was hard for me to make out, but you could just see
Yes.
him coming back and forth.
Yes. And the best part about this is the neighbor showing this to the cop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right in front of Chris
Yeah,
and the friend, Nicole.
and he's still standing there like on his phone.
He's standing there, but he's fidgety.
Mm-hmm.
He's fidgety. He's got his hands up on his head like he's getting ready to be arrested. The neighbor tells the cops after Chris walks out, "Look, this is
Something's not
normal.
right."
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this guy does not act like this. He's so fidgety right now. It's almost like he's trying to cover something up. He doesn't park like this. I don't know what's going on. Just something doesn't seem right." So the neighbor and Nicole both had that feeling like, I don't know about this. What's going on?
And if they had the feeling, possibly this police officer had that feeling too.
Yeah. You know what even more disgusting than that is that he goes on the news
Yes.
and begs for his family to come home. I don't know if you saw this or not.
I did with fake emotion, no emotion.
Yeah, it was really weird. And he says that I think it was Bella was going to start school next week. Was.
The
Why is he saying was?
Yeah, the past tense.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. And I also read somewhere he did pull the kids out of school. Like he called the school and pulled them out and said they won't be back.
I remember seeing or reading that too, that it was not straight information. Like, was it that he called the school that morning or was it the day before?
I think it was that morning, maybe.
I guess to kind of deter, the school would have been calling your kids aren't here today,
Right.
so I better go ahead and call and say they're not coming in. So
yeah, which doesn't seem smart either. The whole thing's just kind of dumb. But so his story to the cop is she came home. It was about 2 in the morning, and I was in bed and I was half asleep, and then I got up at 5 a.m. to get ready for work. And while I'm getting ready for work, we started talking, and I told her that I wanted to separate, and everything was civil. They're not arguing, but it was very emotional, and they both cried. That's his story. He said that they've been having a hard time talking about this for weeks as far as separation goes. She tells him, "Well, I'm going to go to a friend's house with the kids," but didn't say what friend. So that's where the whole play date to her friend Nicole came from. But what doesn't sound right to me is why would she be like, they're crying together? "Oh, we're going to separate. We're going to get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to go to my friend's house with the kids and have a play date."
Well, and what doesn't make sense either is the text between the two of them while she was gone.
Yes.
I mean, it would indicate that she wanted to have like time with him, like special time with him.
Right.
And then he's just like, go away. I mean, that
Yeah.
just doesn't. When do you remember how long they had been married? When you've been married that long, you keep fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't remember how long they were married. That's a good question. But I mean, I don't know. Just saying, I'm going to a friend's house later. Why would you even tell him if he doesn't even want to be with you anyway? Wouldn't you just go to your friend's house with the kids
Right.
and have a play date?
Or at that point, why even bother to come home? I mean, unless
Yeah.
to see the kids, right? To get the
Yeah.
kids. But I mean, sleep in another room, not in the same bed with him.
It just
He's
didn't
just
make
full
sense.
of lies.
Yeah, so after his interview on the news and what begging for his family's return,
He's so disgusting.
he really is. His mistress contacts the police. She says she saw this on the news and that something just didn't feel right. So she goes and contacts them and tells them about their relationship and affair because she's concerned for Shanann and the kids.
And at this point,
Yeah.
she didn't know that he was like still married, or that they were going to be they were finalizing their divorce. They were getting a divorce. She didn't know about the pregnancy, but then there was something later where she knew about the pregnancy, but Chris told Nikki that the baby was by another man.
Ooh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
So there's a quote here from Nicole Kessinger. It says, this is her talking to the police after I think it was like a 2-hour conversation with the police. It wasn't fair to his family for him to have an affair. It wasn't fair to me to have him lie to me and make me think that everything is going as to plan. And still to this day, I don't even know what's a lie and what's not. I missed that part, the end of that. But I don't know. On one hand, I'm like, wow, he really just took advantage of her, lied to her. And then on the other hand, I'm like, are you just that stupid?
Yeah. I think she knew a lot more than she was leading on. I believe that they found through her search somehow that she claimed did not even know Shanann's name. However, in her search, Shanann was on there.
Yeah, how would you not put two and two together after seeing even just her Facebook posts?
Yes. It was almost like she was trying to be like her because she was making videos with Chris as well.
When he was arrested, which we'll get to soon,
Yes.
but there was a video and hundreds of photos of Nikki and we're saying Nikki because that's what Chris called her, on his phone. And he also, do you want to talk about the calculator thing?
Oh, go ahead.
He used an app where it would make the file on your phone or the app or whatever look like a calculator, but really it was hundreds of photos to hide from Shanann.
Oh, these photos were pretty
Risque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like in a bikini and posing and all out there.
And
you
there's
can see
pictures
him in the background.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Several photos. Evidently, they took like a weekend getaway.
Oh, yeah. When she was out of town, they were like straight up having dates every day, doing stuff every day.
And they met at a work site. She was a geologist and he was an operator.
Yes, this was at the oil field.
Yeah, Anadarko Petroleum.
Okay.
They began talking in late May, June. I believe that was 2018.
Yes.
And then just a couple weeks later, they started a sexual relationship.
Wow. Yeah, that moved.
Yeah, so all
really
this
fast.
Yeah, so all this time Shanann is trying to make her marriage work and to keep her family together because she's
She
a
loves
great
him.
yeah, she's a great mom, a
Mm-hmm.
great wife, and he's just over there being a piece of scum.
Yeah. I know in her social media, she was always talking about how amazing he was. What a great husband. What a great
Father.
father. Nothing but positive things to say about him. Let's forward to August 14th. The police and FBI have an informal interview with Chris Watts, and he claims that he's never cheated on his wife. He would never do such a thing.
Shit.
Yeah. They ask if he would
Had to lighten it up there.
Yeah, I know. They ask if he would come back tomorrow and take a polygraph test, and he agrees. And that was the end of that day, basically. So, oh no, I would never cheat, and sure, I'll come back for a polygraph because I'm innocent. So August 15th, he comes
How did
back
those
and he
police
takes that.
officers not want to just bash his face into the counter, into the table? Like,
I don't even
the
know.
frustration.
Oh my gosh. And before he even takes the polygraph, they already know he's having an affair. They know this.
Oh, I remember. Wasn't there a woman? She was talking to him, and she was just so calm.
Yes. Ugh. So he takes this polygraph. Did you watch the video of him getting the polygraph?
I believe so. Yes, because it was the same woman I believe that was talking to him beforehand.
Yes. Oh my gosh, she was so good. She was like, "Oh, this is just gonna let me know if you're lying or not," and getting a the way she's describing the process was like, I would have been scared if I were him. Like, oh my gosh, she's gonna know. She's gonna know it's too late. I can't turn back now. I already said I was gonna do it, so I gotta go ahead and keep with it. So she did a great job when it comes to that. So she even said, "I am so glad you're a terrible liar." Because when she was doing like the test questions, she's like, "It's so obvious you were lying. So I'm very glad you're a terrible liar, so we will know."
Like, move forward.
Yeah. He takes the polygraph test and he fails. Shocking. They ask him, "Look, what really happens?" And they start putting ideas in his head to see if we'll like go with it. Did she do something to the kids? Did this happen? Did that happen?
That's where I get irate.
Oh, I know. He says, "Well, I want to talk to my dad." And they're like, "Okay, we'll bring him in." And it's still being recorded in the interrogation room. And he tells his dad, he said, she killed the kids. Shanann smothered them. And when I saw her do that on the monitor, I was so I was filled with so much rage that I killed her. I went after her. That's what he told his dad. And his dad's like, "Oh my gosh," and trying to comfort him and couldn't believe what he was hearing.
And I don't think that the dad believed him.
I don't think he did either.
There's no way.
Yeah, his dad, you could tell his dad's probably thinking, "Oh my gosh, what did he do? What did he get himself into?" So while he's being questioned and the cops come back in and he finally admits to having an affair, and they said, we know about Nikki. And at the same time, the police are getting GPS data from Chris's work truck so they can trace his steps to that day, see if they can find Shanann and the kids. And he tells Chris, "Your GPS will tell us everywhere you've been. Do you have anything to say?" Chris admits he tells them where the bodies are because they found on the GPS the last location was his workplace, so the oil field, and he marked a B on top one of the tanks, a C on top of another tank, and then an S somewhere on the ground. So that what stood for all their names, and that's where the bodies were found. So
So they found them exactly where he
where
said they would be.
yes, Shanann was found in a shallow grave. The girls were in oil tanks. They weren't even in the same oil tank. He separated them. They were they were by themselves. And from what they said, that getting the girls out of those tanks were it was such a challenge. They had to have people come in, drain it, and try to get the girls out. And the people that worked that said they are forever impacted by that experience.
Yeah. So see, I mean, not only did he ruin, you know, Shanann's parents, and I mean, the people that worked there.
Absolutely. So he ends up getting arrested, and I think that it's 11:30 p.m. and they arrest him on that same day, August 15th. During his trial, there's a line out of the door filled with just people wanting to see him sentenced. The media was in a frenzy for this story. Everybody was really shocked because things like this just didn't happen where they lived. He was sentenced. He pled guilty
To avoid the death penalty?
Yes, that's the only reason why. And he's currently serving 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. He does admit that Shanann had nothing to do with the kids' murders. But for the longest time, he still didn't say what happened. Why did he do these things? What's the clear story? So the same people that interviewed them, they came back on February 18th, 2019, and was like, "Hey, it's time. Let's talk about what happened. Get it off your chest." Made them feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
like they were doing them a favor by talking about it. And his story was, she came home. She was going to sleep. He was already in bed. He was going to confront her in the morning, but instead has sex with her. Tells her after that he doesn't love her anymore. She says he'll never see his kids again. And he gets on top of her and he chokes her to death. After he chokes her to death, he notices 4-year-old Bella in the doorway and says, "Oh, what's wrong with mommy?" And he tells her she doesn't feel well. He drags her body out to the truck while Bella watches. He puts both the girls in the truck and takes them to the oil field. He said first he smothers his 3-year-old Celeste, Cece, with her favorite blanket. And Bella's watching this as well, and she looks at him and says, "Are you going to do the same thing to me?" And he said he doesn't remember if he said yes or didn't say anything at all, but he does the same thing to her. And the last word she said was, "No, Daddy." He said that haunts him.
Good.
Yeah, it should. It's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he put the kids in the oil tanks and buried Shanann. He buried Shanann before he smothered the kids, from my understanding.
He put those babies through the whole thing.
Yes, that the 4-year-old Bella watched everything. Every single thing. How disgusting. How, I mean, I just don't understand how you can hurt your own babies.
He's not even human to me.
No, he's disgusting.
I mean, obviously a very selfish person.
in one of the documentaries, there's several that all of you can watch. There's one on Netflix, there's one on Hulu, there's one on Lifetime. There's a few out there. But he's like, I don't know why I did this. All I ever wanted was a family and kids, and I took that away.
There was something that I read that said he made the comment that she's going to keep me from Nikki, meaning, his wife.
Mm.
But who's to say, that if he wasn't caught, he would have done it again to someone else?
He does blame Nikki. He said, "Oh, I would have never hurt them if I didn't meet her." Yes, he would have. I'm sure he would have. If it's not her, it'd have been someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this was deep within.
Again, I mean, he's blaming someone else.
Yes. I hate it when they never take responsibility for their own actions.
And it's like, poor me. Oh, the Netflix documentary
right.
triggered him.
Oh, what a shame.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
That's one thing that puzzles me, is that these people who do things like this, they don't give any mercy to their victims or the people they hurt,
But they expect it in
yes,
return.
I just don't understand that. We kind of touched on that for a second in the last episode.
Yes.
Just don't understand you don't want to hurt, but you want to make others hurt.
Yes.
How is your life any more important than theirs?
It just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It does. And the fact that he pled guilty to avoid the death penalty.
Again, thinking of only himself.
Right. So it's just not right. The whole thing is just, it's not right. And I want to know more about Nikki. I couldn't find a whole lot on her.
I couldn't either.
I know she told the cops what was going on, but did she know anything more than she said? I just feel like there's a lot missing there. I read one article that she was under witness protection, which I don't know if that's true.
And changed her name, right?
Yeah, and changed her name. I don't know if that's true. You don't hear anything about what's going on with her.
Mm-hmm. Which I guess leads us into the next thing, is where, there was an inmate. He did an interview with Daily Mail, and this was in 2020. Supposedly, Kessinger wrote a letter to Chris, and Chris told this inmate, he told me she said that she needed to speak to him to clear some things up. So supposedly, Kessinger wrote Chris a letter that she needs to speak to him.
Okay, she needed closure in her life.
Maybe. And if she is trying to figure out what was a lie, if she was in love with him, maybe that would have been hard for her to walk away.
Could have been. They must have thought they weren't going to get caught. Or he must have thought he wasn't going to get caught, I should say. I don't know. I just wondered, did they look into her more?
Mm-hmm.
Did she really have no idea this was happening?
But there's not any evidence or anything of him saying that she was a part of it, right?
No.
Because that's one thing, too, is you would think that he would have ratted her out.
Yeah, that's true. Unless, I don't know. I don't know. And the thing, again, there was also an author, Sherilyn. How do you say her last name? Cadle?
It's Cadle.
She interviewed Chris from jail. And this was from Chris watched Chilling Confessions. It was a Lifetime episode. He told her, from what she says, I don't know this is true or if it's not, but I did find it interesting that he actually tried to poison Shanann with oxycodone to have her miscarry. Now, where he got enough of that oxycodone, I don't know. Did he get it from his mistress? Did he get it from someone on the street? Did this even happen? He says all it did was make her really sick, but she didn't miscarry, so it was a disappointment for him. His plan did not work. He planned this murder for weeks, is what he told her. He knew it was the last time he was tucking in his kids that night. He knew that what he was going to do. He also, the reason why he had sex with Shanann before he killed her was to kind of distract her. So he said,
like make her feel comfortable,
yes,
relaxed, I guess.
Yeah. So
like there was hope.
Yeah, like nothing's wrong, everything's good. He said after he had sex with her, he went in the girls' bedroom and he smothered them with their pillows, I believe it was. And then he came back to strangle Shanann. And the interesting thing is, she did not try to fight back. They checked his body and everything. The police did, and there weren't any marks. That doesn't sound right to me. Why wouldn't you fight for your life, especially when you're pregnant? The theory is that he probably drugged her again before he did that, and that's why she was so out of it she didn't fight back.
That makes sense.
I think so too.
Or he just, well, there was no way unless he held her down,
Yeah. So after he strangles her, he said 4-year-old Bella comes in and he was shocked that the girls were still alive, and it just made him angry. I don't know.
I've got no words.
I got no words for that. Either way, no matter how those little girls died, it's awful. Did he really think he killed them once and then did it again? Did he do the act twice, or did he? I don't know. Either way, it's awful. And then, according to a former inmate named David Carter, Chris Watts is still in contact with Nikki. She writes him under a different name.
And this is the inmate that did the interview with
Daily Mail?
Yes.
So it does make you think, did he? Do they talk?
I mean, he has pen pals in there too. And
can you believe women are writing him like, I am in love with you? What a suitor you would be.
What is wrong with them?
There's always those women that are like that with every killer.
Yes, I mean, we could name quite a few right now if we wanted to.
Yeah. But
I don't understand that myself. I don't know.
I don't know either, but how is he doing in prison these days, do you know?
So there was a source in People magazine that reported he is an outcast in prison. No one wants anything to do with him. He's on the lowest social tier of the entire prison. He's in protective custody because if he's around other inmates, he'd be in real danger. He's an outcast even among criminals.
Ooh.
So,
well, they say if you hurt children, kill children, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of got a target on you.
Yeah, because, I mean,
people don't like that.
Some of those prisoners, you figure if you're just in there, I mean, not just, but say robbery.
Yeah, he's probably got a huge target on his back, and I hope he's so uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, even people like the Iceman.
Yeah.
He was a hitman. Kids, no. Yeah, there's like a code for some of these men.
It does seem that way. Like, hey,
you don't mess with kids.
You don't. You do not mess with kids. And if you do, then we're coming for you. I hope he cries every night in his so.
I hope so too. I started watching. It wasn't a video; it was a audio. So not watching, but listening to this interview, and it was him talking about eating macaroni and cheese for lunch, and I thought I was just going to throw up. I had to turn it off because you're talking about macaroni and cheese. No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares. Maybe that's a big deal in the prison life.
Like, you should rot and only have bread and water
Yes.
for what you did,
Yes. If that.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
I saw something where he's taken up with the Bible as well.
They all do. It seems like that.
And I know that could be a touchy subject for some people, but
Well, he needs to
I don't
find
get it.
something because that guy is just disturbed.
Mhm.
He'll never see. Well, at least we know
He'll never
that
get out.
He'll never get out. He'll die there.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, in cases like this, you just want eye for an eye. You know.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Before we go, I gotta tell you, on the social media, there's a video of little Bella singing "My Daddy's My Hero," talking about how he keeps her safe and ties her shoes and does this and does that, and it's like, oh my god, can you imagine? You're looking at your dad. He's supposed to protect you and love you and make you feel safe, and he does this to you. Can you imagine
I just can't.
her thoughts? It is just disgusting. And that's why we wanted to cover this today, because he's just the worst of the worst. And
He's hard to figure out.
he is. He's definitely a narcissist. He has to be.
I feel like when it's people like him, we need answers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you thought when I was watching the videos and he was in it. I mean, his eyes just look so dead.
Like the videos of the family videos.
Just all of it. The family videos, the his interview of "Please Come Home," the on the body cam footage.
Like,
I mean,
he's
just,
soulless.
Yes, yes, but you kind of have to be to do what you did.
Mm-hmm. And full of yourself. He was definitely full of himself.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you guys for listening to our first episode and now the second. We're very excited. If you want to write us, you can do so at Operation Evil Podcast at gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Operation Evil. You can find us on Instagram, which I have nothing posted on there yet. Give me time, guys. It is Operation Evil Podcast. Do you have anything else, Rachel?
We can take suggestions,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
ideas.
Now I will say we're from Northern Kentucky, and we do plan on covering some local cases here. We thought that would be interesting to do. But other than that, until next time, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.